Do you know this situation? You can't remember the phone number or even the birthday of your friends. But why? In this video I'm gonna show you why we have so much trouble to remember numbers. Why is it so hard to remember numbers? First, numbers are abstract. Our brain doesn't like numbers. The left hemisphere likes them, but the right one hates them. There's only a few people who can easily memorize big numbers. Second, scientific studies have shown that the most of us can only remember 7 items at once. If we must memorize more than 7 items, it gets harder and harder. The US psychologist George A. Miller discovered with one of his studies that we can memorize 7 bits of information at once. Most of the people can memorize between 5 and 9 information units. That leads him to the conclusion that the number of objects an average human can hold in short-time memory is 7 plus minus 2 chunks. But what's that, chunks? Let's make an example. Let's assume you have to memorize a combination of different letters, like. The more letters in a row, the harder it is for you to memorize all these letters. The most people start to struggle at the 8th letter. This shows us that we can memorize easily a row of 7 different letters. That means that Miller was right with his conclusion that the number of objects an average human can hold in short-time memory is 7 plus minus 2 chunks. But we still don't know what chunks are. Let's do a trick. I rearrange the last 8 letters where we had trouble to memorize these letters. And now it's not a problem to memorize 8 letters in a row. But what happened? We created a higher ranked piece of information, a word, out of our 8 different letters. That process of combining new piece out of given information is called chunking, like creating a sandcastle with thousands of different sand grains. Chunking is also the reason why the most successful chess players can memorize so many different figure positions. They don't see each figure as its own, they see it as a special constellation. If we arrange the chess figures in a random way on the board, if constellations were not allowed in chess, then the chess champions have the same trouble as we to memorize the different positions of the figures on the board. That phenomenon of chunking we're taking to our advantage when we have to memorize different numbers. First, we create learning cards, like you would learn a new language. On the one side, you write your number, and on the other side, you draw a funny object which belongs to that number. For example, for the number 202, you draw a hippo. The 2 in the front and the back symbolize the feet, and the 0 is the belly. Or you draw a devil for the number 666, or a police car for the number 112. Whenever possible, you should draw a funny and fancy picture to symbolize a given number. Then you should learn 3 new picture number pairs every day. But you shouldn't forget to repeat daily the older ones. The effort to learn these numbers is more or less the same as you would learn a new language. This means you have to learn and repeat new stuff on a regular basis. With that, you help your brain learning this number picture language faster and better. The best rhythm for repeating is the following. After 1 hour, after 1 day, after 1 week, after 1 month, and after 1 year. With that rhythm, you fresh up constantly your knowledge, and this gives you the best learning success. Then, after 1 year of regular learning, you should be able to have a clear picture in your mind if someone gives you a number with 3 digits. For example, 202 for the hippo. Then we use another learning method, the logic technique. If you're interested in more information about this technique, then I have a video linked right here. With this method, you try to memorize different objects in a row, one after the other. For that, you create different points, a path, or even a short story in your brain. This helps you to remember the objects faster and to put them in your long-time memory. The path or the story should be funny, uncommon, and fancy. The more creative, the better. Let's make an example. We have to memorize the following number. To do that, we cut the number in different pieces of 3-digit numbers. Now we have the following numbers. Then we remember what I told you a few minutes ago. We try to find different images to the different numbers. In our case, the 202 is the hippo, the 666 is the devil, the 112 is the police car, and the 101 is the dumbbell. Now we use the logi method. We create a short story with all these different images we have. For example, we're in a zoo watching the hippos and we see a kid who's dressed up like a devil. Suddenly we see that the zookeeper falls off his ladder. Then we call the police, and a few minutes later, a muscular policeman arrives at the accident. Now we can easily remember a big number with 15 digits without a new chessboard. That's crazy, isn't it? After that, you know how to remember every phone number or birthday date in seconds. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.